Japan, Part 2, World War II. Here we go. All right. So, firstly, I want to start off by saying just look at the YouTube channel. If you don't want to watch a 9-minute long TikTok, go to my YouTube channel right now because I'm going to put all this stuff up on there and you might find some other fun stuff that you like. Secondly, if you want what I'm talking about here, but in a much better way and way more detail and a lot longer, Dan Carlin, Hardcore History, Supernova in the East series. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. It's way better. It's like 26 hours, maybe even more. It's awesome. It's perfect. Okay, let's get started. I want you to imagine that you're a little Japanese boy in the Kanto region of Japan. Your mother has just strapped on your running shoes, a backpack, and a ball cap, and she sent you out into the world and she said, "Hey, be careful. It's dangerous out there." But you're not hunting Pokemon. No, no, no. You're hunting Koreans. In 1923, there was a big earthquake that happened in the Kanto region of Japan, basically Tokyo. A lot of people died. I think like 100,000 people died or something like that. But for some reason, in the chaos of this situation, a bunch of Koreans just started getting murdered. Because there was some rumor that started to get spread that like the police said it was okay to start killing Korean people. And so like the military, the police, and these bands of vigilantes started just kind of roaming the streets of Tokyo, just killing people. Japan says only 250 people died. Other people say it's more like 6,000. So that happened. Japan finishes up here in Siberia. They pull out. We're just going to hang out here. During this time, Japan hates communism. Why do they hate communism so much? Well, it turns out that when you are a country ruled by an emperor, the idea of a popular peasant uprising doesn't really sit well with you. So, because of that, a lot of these left wing socialist movements in Japan started to get violently repressed by the Japanese government. No arguing in my comments section. Now, because of these movements kind of getting put down, that led to this rise in this like far right ultra nationalism within Japan. No arguing in the comments. There was a group of Japanese soldiers up here who thought that maybe a false flag attack would be the thing that Japan needed to push it into completely invading this neighboring area and officially taking it over. Delete that comment right now. Yes, I'm talking to you directly. So they do. They blow up a rail line over here. Japanese officers are blowing up a Japanese rail line up here. They only do like 1.5 meters of damage and the train's still able to drive by. But after that happens, they go, "Oh no, we were just attacked by China. Time to defend ourselves." And they take over all this little scritchy area up here. Take over it all. Manchuria. They instill the last emperor of Japan, or last emperor of China, as the ruler of Manchukuo up here. And this is when the last emperor is set. Go watch that. It's very sad. So the nationalists have taken over China at this point, and the nationalists are actually fighting off a communist movement. The nationalists are led by Chiang Kai-shek, and the communists, of course, are led by Mao Zedong. They're fighting their own little civil war in China while this crap is going on up here. Chiang Kai-shek is beating the crap out of the communists, right? He takes out like 90% of their military or something like that, and they're both fighting against Japan at the same time in these little border skirmishes along this area up here. And Chiang Kai-shek's leadership's like, "Hey, we should form a pact with these communists to form a united front against the Japanese." And Chiang Kai-shek's like, "No, you don't negotiate with communists. Are you insane? Is that what you do? You negotiate with communists? No, 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 no." And they say, "Well, we're going to arrest you and force you to do it." So they force them to do it. They do that. And now the nationalists are kind of allied in a way, but also don't like each other and are fighting each other while they're fighting. It's a weird situation. It's a united front that they're trying to deal with Japan. Now, one of these border skirmishes that happens along here happens just on the outskirts of Beijing at the Marco Polo Bridge. It's a 3-day battle, I think. But at that point, Japan's in it. They're like, "You know what, let's just do it. Let's get over it. Let's just go right now. We're going to take over everything." So they do. They start pushing down, down, down. They push the Chinese all the way down to the capital of China during this time, which is Nanking. And it's called the Rape of Nanking for a reason. It is violent. It is brutal what happens to the capital city there. It's so bad that a Nazi ambassador in the city at the time is writing home to like the Nazi high command saying somebody's got to do something about this. These Japanese are doing horrendous things here. We're talking piles of dead bodies, hundreds of beheadings, the mass rape and murder and mutilation of men, women, and children. And it goes on for months. And Japan didn't just do that in the capital, they do it everywhere they go. Every village, every town, every city. The reason why Nanking is so significant is because it was a lot and it lasted for a long time, and it was the capital. So it was possibly extra bad because the Japanese were like, "Woo, we took the capital. We're gonna do whatever we want to everybody as our prize." I guess I don't know, man. It's so weird. Straight up war criminals. You ever seen Ip Man? That's when this is set. I think it's in Hong Kong, maybe. I don't know where it's set, but during this time, Bruce Lee in Hong Kong is actually under Japanese occupation for like 5 years, from the time he's like 5 years old until he's 10. So the Japanese want to cut off the Chinese from being able to. I'm going to give you guys a better map. All right, so Japan wants to kind of cut off the Chinese over here by taking over northern French Indochina, this little section up here. Now, if you watch my Vietnam video, you know what's going on over here in Indochina during this time and why the French own it. They try to negotiate with the French for a little bit. It doesn't really work, so Japan says screw it, and they just kind of take over this northern part right here. The rest of this is still French, but this part above my finger is it's Japanese at this point, and it kind of works. They cut off the Chinese during this time. Before this even happens, though, before they take this over, when they're down here, Britain and the United States are like, we're going to put massive, crippling sanctions on Japan for all the stuff they're doing. You got to stop it. But whenever they take over this northern Indochina region here, that's kind of the last straw. So Britain and the United States just put a full embargo on Japan. You're not getting any oil. You're not getting any steel. You're not getting any rubber. Right? Nothing. You ain't getting nothing. Japan kind of responds at this point by joining the Tripartite Pact with the Mustache Man and Timu Julius Caesar. They're now part of the Axis powers. And the United States realizes after this embargo is fully implemented that, like, we're going to war. Japan's going to attack us. It's going to happen. So they're kind of readying up the Philippines here because that's what they think Japan's going to attack first, is the Philippines. And so they're going from Hawaii with their aircraft carriers, and they're kind of resupplying some of their holdings over here in order to get ready to defend the Philippines. Well, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. My first ever history video was a Pearl Harbor video, so you guys can go watch that if you like. But December 7th, 1941, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. The United States of America is in it, but Japan also attacks all this other stuff all over here. They're taking it all pretty much at the same time, like the weeks and months after Pearl Harbor. Japan's just blowing up all of this stuff. And that's where things start to get crazy. But America is now officially involved in this situation. So we're going to pause there. I'm going to talk about that because there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens. Oh, yeah. And, if you want another movie, the movie Pearl Harbor is set during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Hard to believe, I know, 1941, December 7th. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Get ready for part 3. I'm going to start working on that right now. YouTube channel, if you want to watch these on there. Hardcore History, Dan Carlin. Sarah C.M. Payne. Watch anything she talks about. She knows all this crap. All right? If she told me the sky was green, I would believe her. So there you go. That's all I got for now. Have fun. Goodbye.